I'm Lorenzo Marino, I use they, them pronouns, and I'm the playwright. I get most of my ideas from music. So I'll get a story of just something I'm like passionate and just really like in that moment that I really want to explore, and then the first thing I do is try to find the music that suits that. There's the music and just following what I really love in that moment. In the initial writing process, I think it was Swan Lake. I was really trying to listen to ballet. Even though it isn't a ballet, I was trying to find something that just gave me that inspiration of telling a story without any words. And there is going to be music in this piece that I did not choose. That was the director's choice, which I am very excited about. So there is a change from what I listened to what's been chosen. But it does have that classical influence, so I'm very excited about that. I usually try to write in a way that tries to tap into my subconscious, so that's a lot of journaling, personal experience, memories, just free writing, and then trying to just making a huge mess and then cleaning it up afterwards, and then just narrowing down. For this piece, it was that process. I don't think there was anything difficult. It came quite quickly because I think I knew from the start that it would not be a complete script, that it would be something that actors and directors would be able to build on and devise from. Yeah.
And then the goal of the game is to try to get the other person to not touch you, pretty much.
Okay, everyone else, let's come on this side in case they start moving
Does that make
around.
sense?
I think we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Okay.
I think the show challenges me personally, and I think most of us, because it makes us exist, like fully exist in an imaginative environment, which is what we usually do as actors. But you get usually the text to rely on. Kind of sometimes that text can be a crutch, or you get like pre-existing performances of a show that you've already seen like 3 or 4 times, but because this is like a new devised piece with a new storyline and it's only movement, it challenges me personally to learn and to adapt and to fail a lot of times, but hopefully all of that helps me just become a better actor and a better mover as well. I first started the analysis similar to the way that I do previous analysis, in terms of like trying to find as many like details and concrete like things that the author like gives in the script. But because there was no dialogue, because there was no pre-existing like notions of this character, a lot of it has been just like imagining it. And I think it's really cool that the playwright also lets us do that as well. And the beginning first week of our rehearsal processes was all exploring our bodies outside of the script. So I think it's been a marrying of both techniques that I have learned to do with regular scripts, and also just kind of like giving into like each day and each experience and being present with each like exercise that we do.
Okay, so this role was like a bit confusing because I'm like, well, I know darkness tends to be like evil or like sinister, but like I feel like doing like an analysis of this role, it's like it's nothing like that. It's like being more like quiet, like it's like a cat. So it's like in this role, I'm like a cat. Like when I see something, I get scared, but then I'm also curious. So I feel like throughout this entire play, it's like, to me as a darkness, I'm just like a cat. When you're speaking, you're able to like, I guess words have an impact because people are listening, but after like being in here, I noticed that body movements are much more louder than words. So it's like, as I'm moving around, I feel like I'm being heard, even though I'm not really saying anything.
I don't like to do a scene the same way every time, even if it's the same movements or the same, or in a play with words, the same lines. So I think it's both the actor discovering things about the character. So like if I finish a scene and I go, oh, I actually understand what happens here, or something like that, it's very satisfying. Or if I can feel that the character discovers something about another character, something like that. It's a lot more physical work than, like literal physical work than pretty much any other show I've done. But at the same time, it is harder to, you can't just say like, okay, let's go to this other room now, then everyone goes. Like, you have to be, like, it's also physically hard in the sense that you have to be able to tell the story and all the changes in it.
Well, darkness, you have to, instead of going out, I was trying to go in and trying to find what darkness means to me and how can I represent or explore that through the movement. You can't cheat with your body, and with words you can cheat. That's the way I see it. So for me, when I can see other people's expressions through their body, it's more natural, more honest. So that's why I wanted to explore that with movement.
It's just saying, you fucked up, never try again. And, you know, I think I want them to be able to do their performance. And if I've got to go in after hours to go refocus the lights, I'll go refocus the lights for them. Like that's where I'm at. I want them to be able to do the thing, and I'm tired of us preventing them from doing the thing because of either COVID or because there are restrictions or because of X, Y, and Z. And, you know, both Ethan and Melissa have received ladder training from you and are ready to do it. And it's 4 lights, and they already have so many restrictions. They just want to turn light on.
The idea I had was that we separate the audiences, right? So there's two groups within those 2 hours, right? So in that little, so we'll close those doors that are out there.
Yeah.
And then, oh right, Luke has that dialogue.
Is I can stand out here because Ryland's gonna take theirs off, right? There you go.
Yeah.
When do they need it?
That needs to go to the darkness.
I won't.
So Rylan, and who's over here? Who's in this corner of this room? For the very first one. You? Oh, B. Okay, so B, when you come in, before you go in as Oliver, you're gonna have to leave your mask right here, and B's gonna grab it.
Well, last semester, I took a 390 class with Emily McDonald and Martha Carter, and Ethan was also in that class too. And I ended up doing like a movement piece, and it was by myself, and that was the first time I ever performed. I was kind of a performer, but not enough to really major as a performer. And they had emailed me to see if I was interested in auditioning, and it was really fun. It was something still really new because I've never done movement with like a group of people, but the overall process was just really intriguing. So I think that's what made me want to stick to it more. So it's interesting, this summer I had broken my right arm, and so I think in the beginning I was restricted on movement, and it made me think of how can I still use movement while I still have one thing that's putting me back. And I think it goes the same when we're in our space, because we have to also rely on boundaries. And I think having that test, but not it being something that completely blocks us from the boundaries of how we're able to explore, I think that's what helps the process overall.
Well, I think the one thing that's not difficult is like not having to worry about lines. So that's like almost like, you know, just like such a burden off. Like it's good to just like focus on just being present. And I think that's the plus side of this work. But apart from that, like it's like so new and like it's so active, like all the work, and like at the end of every rehearsal, 10 o'clock, I'm just like so dead and so exhausted, and it's challenging trying to do new things, because as an actor you it's so easy to get stagnant and like continue to do the same thing, the same choreography, and that's a big challenge, and breaking out of that and doing something different. And you know, I just get stuck so easily. But I think just being pushed by the directors and just being forced to, like, you know, do something different, like completely different, like whatever it is, like just something completely off that doesn't have to make sense. Like, that's just the big challenge to overcome there with this production.